Hello and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. Each episode we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney Plus. On this episode, we are taking a look at another holiday favorite as we take a look at Jingle All the Way starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. And stay tuned for a bonus story as we take a look at the history of the World of Disney store. And if you are enjoying these videos, please do hit that subscribe button. That way you will never miss a single episode. But for now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we are covering Jingle All the Way. This movie was released on November 16th, 1996, and it was directed by Brian Levant. The story was done by Richard Cornfield, and the production companies were 1492 Pictures and Fox Family Films, with the film being distributed by 20th Century Fox. The budget for this movie was $75 million, with the box office return being $129.8 million. But let's take a look at the development. So Randy Cornfield wrote the script for this movie after witnessing his in-laws going to his toy store in Santa Monica at dawn to get his son a Power Ranger doll. And producer Christopher Columbus also had a similar experience where trying to get his son a Buzz Lightyear action figure when the Toy Story came out. And it kind of drew inspiration of the holiday shopping experiences that parents have trying to get that perfect gift. So director Brian Levant was quickly hired and saw the core of the story was to make a better family. Arnold Schwarzenegger was quickly cast in the part, getting a salary of $20 million to do the part. His casting was done quite quickly because originally he was assigned to do the Planet of the Apes remake, but filming had gotten delayed. Originally, Joe Pesci was offered the role to play opposite Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he was quickly declined. He declined the role, so comedian Sinbad was chosen because of his similar height to Schwarzenegger. Filming of the movie took place in Minnesota, including the Mall of America and the famous Mickey's Diner that can be seen throughout the film. The climax at the parade scene was filmed at Universal Studios Hollywood on their New York City set. And the Turbo Man doll or action figure was actually created for the film, with all the commercials being shot on sound stages. So let's take a look at the cast. So we have Arnold Schwarzenegger, who plays Howard Langston, Sinbad, who plays Myron LaBrie, Phil Hartman, who plays Ted Malton, Rita Wilson, who plays Arnold's wife, Liz Langston, Jake Lloyd, who plays Jamie Langston, Jim Belushi makes a cameo as Mall Santa, Robert Conrad plays Officer Alexander Hummel, and WWE superstar Paul White plays Giant Santa. So now that we know the players, let's take a look at the plot. So Howard Langston is a salesman for a mattress company who is constantly busy at his job, and he's also constantly disappointing his son Jamie. After he misses his son's karate class, he tries hard to come up with a way to make it up to him. Jamie says that all he wants for Christmas is an action figure of his favorite television hero, Turbo Man. Unfortunately for Howard, it is Christmas Eve, and every toy store is sold out of Turbo Man. Now Howard must travel all over town and compete with everybody else, including a mailman named Myron, to find a Turbo Man action figure and to make it to the Wintertainment Parade, which will feature the beloved Turbo Man. So this actually had quite an interesting marketing story, because Schwarzenegger was only hired for the film in February of 1996, and the film being shot so quickly, they only had 6.5 months for marketing, which normally they would have a full year to create different products for the film. So the only type of marketing is they created a 13.5-inch Turbo Man doll, and in the West Coast, they actually had an exclusive Turbo Man Time Racer vehicle. No tie-in promotions could be secured, and critics were actually quite critical of the film, saying that the only reason that the film was made was to sell more Turbo Man dolls. The film did have its premiere at the Mall of America, where the film was shot, and several of the props were actually donated by Schwarzenegger to that location's Planet Hollywood. In 1998, Murray Hill Publishing sued 20th Century Fox for $150,000, claiming that they stole the idea from writer Brian Webster's story, Could This Be Christmas? Initially, Fox was ordered to pay $19 million to Murray Hill Publishing, but after appeal, the amount was dropped to $1.5 million, and then after another appeal, the Fox was deemed not liable. So this movie actually does have a direct-to-video sequel as well, Jingle All the Way 2, produced by 20th Century Fox and WWE Studios, and it stars Larry the Cable Guy and WWE superstar, or former WWE superstar, Santino Marella. We will cover that in a separate video because there's a lot to talk about with that as well. So would I recommend this movie? I think this movie is an okay family movie. The story is interesting, looking at the pressures of getting the right toy for Christmas. This movie actually came out prior to the Tickle Me Elmo craze, if those of you that remember that. And Schwarzenegger's performance is really great. I think he shows kind of his ability to do great family comedy films. Sinbad's performance is okay, but often at times it seems forced and a little bit too over the top, like he's trying too hard. But definitely recommend this one on Family Plus, or on Disney Plus. Not one that I'm going to go see time after time though, but definitely a good holiday film. So let's take a look at our bonus story, which is the history of the World of Disney store. So the World of Disney store is a retail store operated by Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products. And the store is a place where guests can get a large selection of character merchandise as well as theme park souvenirs for the individual parks. The area serves as one-stop shop for guests for all ages to get a variety of merchandise from toys, clothes, jewelry, and art pieces. So the first store opened on October 2nd, 1996 in Walt Disney World, Florida, as part of the Disney Village Marketplace, which is where Disney Springs is now. And the store was 51,000 square feet of retail space. In 2006, a renovation occurred that added the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, which was a princess-themed salon, as well as a Stitch-themed area and a Pirates of the Caribbean-themed area. In 2016, the store was moved to a new location where the Once Upon a Toy location was, and that's where it currently sits now. A second store was added in 2001 in Disneyland's downtown Disney, and in 2004, a third store was added in New York's Times Square. The New York Times Square store was 30,000 feet and had 3 stories of retail space. Unfortunately, the New York store was dismantled in 2010 to make way for a traditional Disney store. In 2012, Disneyland Paris had gotten their own World of Disney store and added in their Disney Village shopping area. This store was 15,000 square feet and was a key point of the renovation for their Disney Village, which is their version of downtown Disney. And finally, in 2016, Shanghai Disney got a World of Disney in their Disneytown area. And then in 2018, the Anaheim Disney World of Disney store was renovated with a theme of a bus terminal turned into an artist studio. Disney World's version was also renovated in 2018 to have a similar theme. So that's kind of cool, interesting about the World of Disney store, how it's changed, and then how it's kind of now a staple of all the Disney parks. So kind of give you a brief history of that. So thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. Please leave a comment on what you think of Jingle All the Way. Is it one of the holiday movies that you see from every Christmas, or is it one that you occasionally go back to? And please leave what are your best memories of the World of Disney store. So for our next episode will be our final look into a holiday film as we look at the winner of our December bonus bowl. And the movie we're looking at is the 2000 family Christmas film, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, starring Jim Carrey. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.